I think I'm live after 2 minutes of waiting for this video. So, welcome. Welcome everyone. I hope it's not choppy as always. I tried. Hi Steffi, I saw you signing through Eversport. Actually, my computer is not working. I only see the chat on my phone now. Is it choppy? I have to move a little bit to see if it's going to be choppy. There is also huge lag, as always, with YouTube. I think it can, yeah, it looks okay. I increased something because I think the two last streams were super choppy. Extra choppy. I don't even see the chat on my computer because my phone is connected to basically not my internet at home. And I think some people will complain that I am eating the whole bandwidth. Also, I think my computer... Okay, no, it's not my computer. So it's the other computer that is streaming. Tech stuff, I know. Welcome. I'm going directly to jump into this class. I will watch it on my phone. If you're writing something in the chat, then I don't know. Hi Anna. Oh, I have the chat on my phone. Cool. So I have too many devices. One light is not on. So ready, Friday. Also, it's very windy. I think there will be something coming. So it will be very moody here, or maybe not. Arm balances. So arm balances are basically, the better your Chaturanga is, I would say the better you will be. I was always good with arm balances, and I always was a little bit better with Chaturanga, although I did a video today of some sun salutations, and my shoulder blades were really like going off my spine. So what we want to achieve, I don't know if we want to achieve it, but the best for the shoulder, especially the shoulder blade to the spine, or to the rib cage rather, joint connection, we want it to be stable. I don't think you get any kind of problems with the shoulder if you don't have super strong muscles. Like, this is not important, right? Because you don't need stability in your shoulders in normal life. You don't overuse them ever. Maybe if you are like a person that walks on their hands, I don't know, daily, then yes. But if you just do yoga and then the rest of the day you are not using your arms to bear weight, I guess it's okay. However, every time you have instability somewhere in your body, so if it is shoulder blade, if it is your neck, if it is your low back, something will get affected. So maybe you don't realize it, but for example, deep neck flexors will affect like your jaw, your shoulders, your upper back. And actually, I don't know what the shoulder blade to rib cage connection, if it's not really strong, what it will affect. But it's all connected, so it will affect for maybe your wrist, for example, when you're doing a lot of yoga. So that's most of the cases. Your wrists are hurting. Maybe then later you will try to go for, you really want to achieve the handstand, and then you will hurt your wrist. So trying to have more stability and stronger serratus anterior, especially, so the muscle that goes from underneath your shoulder blade all the way towards your ribs from the bottom, but also from the top, but you don't see because these are deep muscles hidden underneath other muscles, underneath other tissue, like in women, people that have breasts, underneath maybe a fatty tissue, skin. So we don't know about these very important stabilizing muscles. We are not aware of them because they are hidden. So we will do a little bit of exercises for stability in the shoulders. Great exercises is if you have, for example, a band, so elastic band, and you're pulling forward. So every time you are pressing forward, coming with the shoulder blades especially away from each other, and then you're pushing the shoulders and your palms forward, the shoulder blade will follow, it will slide along and towards the direction, and it will glue. It's the video choppy. Is it choppy, you guys? Because my phone is not connected to my bad internet, but it's like a lot of choppiness. I don't want it to be this bad. Maybe I can lower the quality of the stream, but then have it a little bit more smooth. I'm just disturbed when I see that. Oh, okay, so continuing. So once your arms are moving away from this position where you're pressing forward to, for example, Chaturanga, the shoulder blades move towards each other a little bit, but you want to still keep them flat on your ribcage, and that's really hard. And if you don't have the serratus in control, it will create this like instability that will be represented in the pain in your wrist, in your shoulders crunching towards you. So imagining that you want to keep long neck in any kind of arm balance. When your arms are beside you, then you're going for probably a little bit more stable arm balance and shoulders. And then if your arms are over your head, it's the situation differs. It's very much different because you want to bring your shoulder blades in the direction of where you are pushing in arm balancing. So you want to bring them up. And this can be easily understood in just a simple cat-cow flow. So once you are in a neutral pose, you can set your palms, you can make your fingers a little bit more wider, bring them wider, so away from each other. And then find a neutral spine. So you want to support your shoulders by pressing away, bringing the ribs, the front, your chest bone in. However, there is a small arch in your low back, while your belly and your ribs, low ribs come in to support that low back, and your face comes away from the ground to support your neck, the rest of the spine basically, or the upper part of your spine. And then instead of really like trying to push as much as possible, you are doing that into the ground, but then try to open your collarbones slightly. And then you have a nice stable position, but don't overdo it. So find a little bit of easiness. So without really like trying too hard, find maybe even a little bit of movement here already, especially allowing yourself to breathe and then realize where can you breathe. So where does the breath goes? Can it go into your ribs? Can it also go into your belly without losing totally your belly, like leaving it, going a very soft down, but still breathing into it? And also maybe can you feel the breath in your back, in your back ribs, trying to keep the shoulders fixed and still pressing from the fingertips down into the mat, trying to press from the inside palms into the mat. So keeping in connection from the index finger mount down into the mat. Okay, now we will find cow tilt. So in cow tilt, the arms don't move. However, the position in the shoulders is different because as you bring your chest forward, the angle in between your upper arm bone and your ribcage changes. So you want to allow your shoulder blades to come down since you're trying to slide your palms back. It's the same kind of motion, and you want to create a lot of space in your neck, but keep the chin at your throat for now. Just look forward with your eyes, lifting the head more to the back of the head rather than leading with the chin. Inhale, belly stays in, and then exhale. We will bring the roundness in the spine, so cat pose. And as you do so, again, the angle changes. Now you're more pushing down in order to round the spine. So your shoulder blades move towards your ears. As the belly comes in, relax your neck. And stay here for an inhale and exhale. And this very similar thing happens in Chaturanga. So, but not all the way. So as you inhale, go for 2 rounds of cat-cow. You can even look up, you can also lift your head. And exhaling, trying to round, squeezing your belly, and just feel those shoulder blades sliding up towards your ears. Inhale, open, and exhale, round. Now inhale, come to neutral. And from a neutrality, we want to imagine that as you bend your elbows, the angle will again close. So your shoulder blades, instead of staying at your ears or being in the middle, you want them to slide down as you shift your chest forward. And then you press and you round all the way. So into your cat pose. You can tuck your toes. Inhale. Start almost opening like cow tilt, but not all the way as you bend your elbows, sliding the shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, round. Now we will change. So inhale, stay here in your roundness. And rather, as you exhale, you start opening, bending the elbows, keeping your belly in. Inhale, round, press back. Even sitting your hips down onto your heels. Exhale. Almost like Chaturanga. Use your fingertips, press them into the mat. Inhale, 1 more. Release your wrists here and exhale. Try to bring the chest forward, sliding the shoulder blades back. And then release. So this is already like a lot for some people, especially if you are new. Even for me it was hard, and it's not even for Chaturanga. We will make fists. You can sit on your tuck toes, on your heels, to stretch a little bit your toes, and then we will flex the palms since we are going to do some arm balancing. It's always good to stretch and take care of your wrist. So moving here in circles. I'm still checking if it's choppy or not. This is the only way I can do it, since I'm too lazy to watch the stream afterwards. And then if I am watching it afterwards and I see it's choppy, well, I can't change it anymore. And it just makes me mad. Interlace the fingers and then go for few waves. I love this one. It's so nice. However, it doesn't work with my bracelet, so I have to do it really big so the bracelet slides. And then try to go to the other side. Now the bracelet will not work. We did this one at my Tai Chi class that I was teaching, and we were even walking. I hope you're still sitting on your toes and not suffering there. I hope you are not clenching your jaw. Maybe trying even to smile. Okay, press the palms forward, turning them away from you, and then inhale, reach your arms up. And you can bring your chest forward. Again, a little cat-cow poses or cat-cow movements. Exhale, round. Chin to your chest, belly in. Inhale, open, the chest comes up. You can even look up. Exhale. Around. And release. And take the toes. Sit back. Bring one knee towards your chest. You can start with the right one. Moving on the tops of the toes and trying to stretch the top of the toes a little bit. Also your ankle. Maybe even a little bit further onto your toes so you feel the skin really stretching. And then change to the other leg. So also your ankle, you can also move the ankle like right, left, a little bit, back and forward, and then even backwards to stretch and come all the way to the last parts, last bones on your toes. Then take your toes in your tabletop, spread your fingers again, grab the mat with your fingertips, and this exercise is so great just to be aware more of having the weight on your fingers, on your fingertips. And this is something that even though I can, for example, do crow, I will always forget in handstand. So it takes me a while until I realize, like, oh, I am not actually bringing my weight onto my fingertips. So how am I supposed to bring enough weight forward if I'm already not doing it? And you don't even have to lean forward as you do so. It's just staying wherever you are with shoulders over the wrist, but then digging those fingertips into the mat and trying to learn or teach your muscles on your forearms to do this kind of action, to protest from your passive weight on your wrists. So it's a process of the fingers that is trying to bring you backwards, right? It's trying to make your wrist coming from this flexion into less flexion, or even into whole straightness of the wrists. And the same will happen in your downward facing dog. So bring your knees slightly away from the ground, engaging from your core. Use those fingertips. Use your thumbs especially. And then imagine you want to squeeze your forearms towards each other. And then keep pressing from your fingertips so they will send your hips, your whole body, your shoulders back. And you can bring your hips up and then bending one knee, then the other, assessing how your hamstrings feel today, this evening or this morning, wherever you're doing this class. And still work on those fingertips though. Still work on squeezing the arms towards each other, trying to stabilize the shoulders for them to stay in their sockets. And then bring whole or both heels up, super tall, and stretch from your palms, bend the knees, sitting bones are trying to reach back, try to bring your ribs in, at the same time relax your neck. Inhale. Exhale, release the heels down, keep everything as it is. Maybe bring your toes up, you can spread them, still your fingertips are in the mat, and you're still squeezing the forearms in towards each other. Big inhale through your nose. Exhale. And come again with your heels very, very high. Look forward. Bring your ribs in and walk forward with your heels super high. All the way. Try to keep your palms, your wrists on the ground. Nice core exercise. Eventually lift your heels, but wrists up. Straightening your spine to half lift. And exhale, fold. You can grab opposite elbows, again allowing your wrists to relax here. You can flex them. You can relax your neck. You can sway right, left. Take, after your next exhale, very deep inhale through your nose. Maybe find a stillness here in your ragdoll pose. And exhaling, allow the gravity to really bring your body even lower, even deeper, in bending the knees. And release your hands and start rolling the spine up. Your head comes last. Okay, shake a little bit here. So one thing I was talking about is the shoulders, but again, stability. So that applies to your neck and to your low back, and also to, especially in your low back, to stabilizing by using your core. So this kind of protraction affects and is a little bit bigger when you're really round and when you bring your low ribs in. So it's a lot of rounding, a lot of core work, but deep core work, and then supporting of your neck. So we'll try to roll down with again that roundness, and then bringing the shoulders even forward. So first, stand straight with your legs as wide as your hips. Release your shoulders, release your arms beside you with palms facing forward. Try to find first length. So imagine you want to elongate, creating space in between each of your vertebra, but also other joints like your hips. So your legs are active, also in between your knees. And then once you have this space, you have space to bend into, so you can bring your chin to your chest, shoulders relaxed, micro bend your knees, and then round from your upper back, slowly coming down through your low back, through your hips bending. Inhale, fingertips underneath your shoulders. You can bend the knees. Halfway lift, open your collarbones. Exhale, palms down, stepping back into your tabletop, bringing the knees down first. So set your fingers, if you forgot about that. Spread them, but don't overdo it. So it doesn't have to be too much. It's somewhere in between, somewhere where it feels comfortable, but you have still enough place in between your fingers. Use your fingertips, squeeze in between your forearms, then find protraction through your shoulders, bringing your chest bone in, but at the same time, slide the shoulder blades a little bit down, so it's not like super rounded. You have the support from pressing down, but you have also space at your collarbones, belly in, ribs in. Step one foot back. Squeeze your left or right glute, whatever leg is back, and then the other one. And then you have a perfect plank. We forgot about the neck, so face away from the ground. Inhale here. Exhale. Just the knees comes down. Everything else stays the same. So your hips needs to move down. And then as you're pressing away from the ground, start bending the elbows, and you want to imagine you want to slide the palms back so your chest moves forward. You're opening your chest a little bit as you come all the way down, squeezing the elbows in. A lot of cues. Untuck the toes. We'll strengthen the spine or the back muscles a little bit. Come with your fingertips to the sides of your shoulders, a little bit away from the ground. Belly comes in. Inhale, bring the chest up, and you can use your fingertips to lift away from the ground. And then exhale, release forehead on the mat. We'll go 5 times, so feet are pressing down, pointing your toes. Inhale, lift. This should feel good. Exhale, so go as much as it feels good. Try to find length in your spine, bringing the chest forward, rolling the shoulders back, down. Exhale, release with control. Inhale, come up. This is what, 3? I don't know, I said 5, but I don't remember, I didn't count. 2, lift, exhale, legs are still active, belly is active. And last, and you can stay here. You can move your shoulders both or one at a time. You can even bring the palms down, bring them closer, trying to press away, but by pressing, it means chest more forward, shoulder blades more together and down. Inhale, maybe even look up. Legs active, glutes active. Exhale, carefully release down. Press into your downward facing dog. You have 2 options. Through upward facing dog, if you want to go and strengthen coming back to your down dog, and you don't have enough strength to go through tabletop with your hips and shoulders lifting at once. So if you can't do this or this without going like this, where your low back literally passively bends and you can hurt yourself. Some people will totally feel as they try to lift, but they don't have enough strength, that they have pain in their low back. So what I would suggest for you to do is maybe lifting in an active upward facing dog. So your hips and your rest of the body lifts, pressing from the shoulders, and then go rounding. So chest comes in, and then you protract, press from your palms, your arms, rounding the upper back, lifting the hips, and then untucking the toes or unrolling the feet or whatever to find your downward facing dog. Take a big inhale there. Exhale. One more breath. You can take a little break. Although we didn't do much, it was more like technicalities. Okay, so crow pose. Place the knees down. If you have crow pose, you probably know these drills because I teach it every time. What you're going to work on for the next 5 minutes, let's say, is to try to go for a low crow pose to higher crow pose, like crow pose push-ups. So you bring your knees first from the outside of your arms. You set your palms as wide as your shoulders. You bring your heels up. You squeeze the knees in. And then with flat back, you lean forward, and with your hips staying low, you bring yourself into your crow. If this is what you're just trying to work into your practice, you can try to lean every time, thinking about those fingertips. So fingertips dip into the mat, your inside palms dip into the mat, your elbows are pushing against your shins or the sides, the inside of your shins, and the shins are pressing, or the knees even, are pressing into your upper arm, so above the elbows, while the elbows are bent, hips are low. So you lean forward, fingertips, think fingertips. Again, lean forward. If you are here, you can lift your feet, maybe one at a time, maybe both at the same time. Then you try to work higher, pressing from your core to lift the backside of your upper back a little bit higher. So you are low with your hips low, and then you try to lift and round. So your shoulder blades move from away from your ears towards your ears, if you don't lose a balance. Fingertips, shoulder blades moving like in Chaturanga, right? You're trying to open as you go lower. If you're taking a break, please take care of your wrists, because crow especially if you're pushing higher, your elbows are getting straighter, you will feel it. Okay, try 2 more times. Lean, feet lift, then press higher. Your knees wants to creep up, slide towards your shoulders or your armpits even, and then you try to come low again. And then back down, and then wrist release. One hand maybe at a time. Every time you are working on only one side, you're more aware, and there is less risk of injury, and also you're going to make it or do it better, I think, because 2 is too much for your brain to handle. 1 is always safer. Okay, so once we have this, I'll try something crazy. which is one-legged crow. This is a lot about stability in between, again, your shoulders. It's all about stability. And it's about the shoulders squeezing in towards each other. The same applies, for example, for tripod headstand. And this is why I was telling you about the arms squeezing in towards each other, since you don't have those legs that squeeze from the sides and they keep the arms stable. So you have to use actually your pectoralis muscle squeezing in. If you are super afraid, you can always use a sofa in front of your head so you don't fall forward. You can use block underneath your forehead. Just make sure that you have enough distance to lean forward, to have enough weight forward. So setting your palms again as wide as your shoulders. Then what you want to achieve is to bring your knee this time on top of your elbow. So if you come to a squat and you bend your elbow and your knee the whole way, hopefully for most of the people, doesn't have to be for everyone, you will find a flat kind of surface on your knee and on your elbow, and then try to find where it fits and where it feels comfortable. It can be higher up your arm, but if you try it like this, you realize that here maybe it's more stable than here, higher on your arm, because of how the bone is like really just it's not so flat, it's more curvy, and the muscle moves much more than here where you have more like a flat kind of surface. So this works for me better. I can find more stability. We will start with the right knee on the elbow. So set your palms, they need to bend, the elbows needs to be bent. As you lean forward, then you can step the left leg a little bit more further away behind you, and you have to bend your right knee the whole way, so as much as possible. Then you look forward, bend the elbow, find that spot, that sweet surface on your knee and on your elbow. You lean forward, forehead on the block, and then maybe you lift your back leg. If not, it's totally okay. We'll try a different arm balance. It's much easier, also one-legged. Again, move your wrists and then try the other side. Maybe no block. Maybe you just try to bend your back knee without lifting the whole leg. That's much easier. So you find, again, the flat surfaces on your two joints. You step your right leg a little bit further away. First, you have to bend your left knee. You look forward. And now, if you see, it's more smaller angle. So you are trying to keep your spine long and your neck long also. You lean, use your fingertips, maybe just bending the back knee. And that might be it. You don't even have to lift the leg high, because once you start lifting, it will start shifting. And if your leg slides, you fall, I'm sorry. So what happens usually is that the knee, if your arms are not stable, you're not using your fingertips, your shoulders, this will move like crazy, the knee on your arm. And then your arm will move also. And then you can't find a balance. Squeezing those arms in, finding a good sweet spot. Squeezing in, using your fingertips, and then maybe you lift your other leg. Move your wrists. I think it's not choppy. I don't see it. Another one, one-legged funky arm balance, is something that I learned first. And it felt really great because it's almost like an inversion. It's an arm balance. And it can be also done with your head on the ground. However, and also I think if you're afraid of inversions, since you are still tilted a little bit more down, or like you're still tilted, stay tilted, don't go all the way up, it feels really amazing. So you use mostly the strength in your body. So setting for a funky arm balance might look very different for many people. I prefer to find straight lines. So first straight line is the elbow over the wrist, and this only happens if you slide your palm a little bit more back. So if you start from a tabletop and you bring your left elbow down, so your left elbow is underneath your left shoulder, straight line, then you slide your right palm more back than your shoulder, so your elbow is underneath or over your wrist as your elbow is bent. Make sense? The left palm on the front will go 45 degrees. We will make it easier. From there, you lift your hips. It's almost like half dolphin pose on the left side, and I don't know what's happening on the other side. It's a tripod headstand on your right hand. So your head is fairly far away from your palm. And then what you want to do is to bend your right knee. Again, all the way, find that sweet spot. When you look forward, all the way forward as much as possible, you lean. Use your right hand fingertips. Press from both arms. Maybe you lift your left foot. If this is super hard, super challenging, another variation is to place the head, the top of the head, down on the mat, almost like a tripod headstand. So here on one side you have tripod headstand, on the other side you have supported headstand while your palm is actually on the ground. So if you try it with the same hands, you have to find a place next to your left hand to set your head down. Then you lift your hips up. You bend the knee all the way, find that sweet spot, press from your palm so there is minimum weight on your head, and then maybe you lift your other leg. Maybe you go all the way up towards the sky, squeezing your left glutes. Maybe you lift your head eventually. And then you carefully, slowly, without too much noise, come back. Please, the right wrist needs a lot of release. Here again, you can shake it. It's not going to be used on the other side, so that's a good thing. Oh no, choppy video. I will move one day and I will have better internet. Or yeah, or I don't know. The other side, try it there. Maybe if this is too easy, you try coming from the headstand and you try to lift your head. That's like next level. So setting first like your dolphin, and then slide the left palm very far away so the elbow is underneath or over the wrist. Front hand 45 degrees, lifting your hips up, your knees up. Then you walk closer, bending the left knee all the way. You look down, squeezing your belly in, pressing from your palms. So you want to find stability. Then maybe you lift your other leg, maybe all the way up. Just feeling those little shifts in your shoulders. Carefully down. Maybe you try the headstand too. Maybe you try to lift. So this one is really, I like it. And these are the basic arm balances that you can start with, and they will get you addicted once you get good at them and you want to do more and more. We will do one more. This is not really arm balancing, it's more core. However, I like it because it's the opposite. So in many of these, we are going for arms forward or 90 degrees. In handstand, we go all the way 180 degrees, and then there are arm balances where you have your arms beside you. So you are actually working on those pulling muscles. So the opposite, right? Not just pushing, although this is still pushing, but it's pushing in the other direction. So I'll sit down, and you can use blocks here or something underneath your arm, so you have a little bit almost as if you had longer arms. And again, core is involved. Your shoulder blades this time are sliding down, so you are trying to create distance. You're pushing down, so your shoulder blades goes down. And then you are still using your fingertips. If you have your palms on the mat, if you have them on the blocks, it's the same. Maybe even grabbing your blocks if you are using the second level will help you to release the tension or release the weight away from your wrists. You can bend the knees, then you need to bring your hands forward because you have to have weight backwards at the same time to counteract the heavy legs in the front. So rounding, right, protraction, then slide the shoulder blades down, lean forward, press away. So you have to bring your elbows from bent into straight, but at the same time, shoulders don't come up towards your ears. Then you bring your hips back, back, back. So the goal is hips high, and you are going a little bit into the territory of arms forward actually. So it's, again, more here. There is another arm balance where your hips would come forward, so you can try that. Even like your arms are behind your body, and then the hips come behind you. You can even lift your heels, and then maybe try to go for the other one. Maybe you need to bring your heels forward and hips up. You can go all the way towards reversed table for a nice shoulder stretch. You can look up, squeeze your glutes, inhale, exhale back, lift your hips up, squeeze your belly in, lift your heels maybe, release, remove the blocks or whatever you are using or not, lie onto your back, so your knees will bend, your feet will step towards your heels, and you can allow your knees to fall in towards each other. Move your wrist again. You can shake them. You can make fists, very tight fists, bringing the thumbs onto your knuckles and then flexing the paws towards the inside of your forearms, and then the other way. Maybe circles. Maybe you close your eyes. Okay. Big inhale through your nose. Exhale. And then go into a nice stretch from the front body. So either bridge pose or already wheel if that is something that you're into. Press the heels into the mat, bring them as wide as your hips. Try to have your feet parallel without having like opening the toes out. And then you have to just believe or believe in yourself because you don't see them. So wherever you set them, they're going to be there. Squeeze your belly, lift your hips up, but keep pressing from your heels. When you're squeezing something in between your legs to support your pelvic floor, your inner thighs, and then you can walk on the tips of your shoulders if you are going for a bridge, interlacing the fingers, or you bring your palms near you and be really careful since this is again arm balance. You have your weight on your hands. So again, your wrists are going to suffer, especially if you don't keep stability. So external rotation here is the answer. Hips lift, elbows in, fingers are slightly turning out, so the index fingers are pointing behind you. And press from your fingertips so you can lift your head and you can land on your head. Maybe you press all the way into your wheel. In your wheel, you can also come onto your heels in order to have your hips higher at the beginning if you have problems with low back especially. And then try to press forward, maybe bringing the heels eventually down, maybe not. And then once you are ready, if it was enough, you bring the chin in if you're in your wheel pose, slowly, carefully Bringing the back of your head, your shoulders down, then rolling the rest of the spine or releasing your hands and coming away from your bridge pose, rolling the spine down. Again, knees towards each other. You can walk the feet further away from each other, bringing the palms together, interlacing the fingers, and then going for like a tight fist, pressing the palms together forcefully, and bring the palms onto your forehead. Inhale through your nose and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Release the wrists, your hands, your fingers. Bring the knees facing up and then move them to the right side and then a little bit to the left. And you can go for a second round. So if you feel like it, go for another bridge pose, another wheel, maybe even forearm wheel. If you don't want your wrist to be there to like suffer, but you want to still go into deeper back bend, so you have super open shoulders, you want to just get that stretch, you can totally go onto your forearms and spend a few breaths there. It's all up to you what you will do. So coming onto forearms is tricky for me, but maybe for you it's super easy and super natural, since we are all very different. And this forearm stretch is actually super nice to stretch the chest after all that rounding without your wrist suffering. If you still want to stretch your chest, but forearm wheel is not an option, you can go for a puppy pose. So you can bring yourself into your tabletop, bring your arms forward and go for a nice chest stretch in your puppy. Once you're finished, you can lie onto your back, knees one at a time to your chest. Close your eyes, move your knees here, right, left, for a little low back massage. You can go even almost like into twist on one side, then on the other. And then we will squeeze the belly in, bring the chest up. If you like, either one leg at a time, or both legs will come straight forward into a low boat. Inhale here, exhale, inhale, come to a high boat, exhale, cross your shins, bring the feet back. If you were in the puppy pose, actually it's almost coming back to that. So we'll go for a stretch on the wrist, a little bit more active or a little bit more passive actually. Bring the palms facing towards you, spread your fingers, and then bend the elbows, make fists, super tight fists. Bring the thumbs onto the second knuckles, and then imagine that you want to bring the backs of the palms away from the mat. And then from there, keep that, just bring the elbows straight or straight-ish. Inhale, bend the elbows, open the palms, spread the fingers. Exhale, fists. Try to peel the backs of the palms away as you straighten the elbows. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, bend the elbows, open the palms. Exhale, fists, and extend. And release. Lie onto your belly. Carefully releasing yourself down. Then bring the arms to the sides. We will bring the feet together, pressing the tops of the feet down. Inhale here. And then exhale, we will come forward with both arms, and the right arm will walk underneath the left all the way to the other side, and maybe even left arm towards the right side. Inhale, try to bring your fingers more away from you, and then exhale, release. You can look to one side, try to find comfortable position for your neck. You can close your eyes. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Now bring the left arm up over your head, and then open the left knee to the side like a frog. And then you want to roll to the right side, so use your maybe even left hand to press away, and try to roll all the way onto your back, so even your left shoulder will eventually come down towards the ground. Maybe your left knee will leave the floor. It's okay, you can look towards the left. Your twist. Inhale, reach towards the left. Try to bring your shoulder blade closer. Exhale, go a little bit deeper into the twist. One more breath. Exhale. Then come back. You can do a huge circle with your left hand over your head. And then slowly rolling onto your belly. Hiding that left knee, both arms come up. So we'll change. Inhale here. Exhale, left arm threads under, goes towards the right. And then maybe you stay there, or an option is to walk also the right hand to the left. And then I like to look towards I like to bring the chin like the direction of the upper hand, but feels uncomfortable and I change. Maybe I just keep my head supported away from the ground. So it depends where it feels, and just trying to release in those shoulders, feeling that stretch on the outside deltoids, on your shoulders, maybe in between your shoulder blades. Relax your jaw, relax your face, your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. And slowly right arm goes up. Right knee opens to the side. Try to bring it higher than your hips. And you can roll all the way onto your side, left side in this case, and even eventually onto your back. I'm probably out of the camera. You can even grab with your left hand your right knee. Inhale, twist your shoulder closer to the ground. Exhale, squeezing your belly slightly in. Inhale, you can imagine creating more space in between your upper shoulder or right shoulder and your right hip. Exhaling, as you found the space, you can twist slightly more into it and then come back. So your right arm goes big circle above your head. Slowly as you roll onto your left side and onto your belly. Bring both knees or both legs straight. So the opposite stretch for your shoulders, arm beside you. This time without crossing. Bring the shoulders away from the ground, slide the shoulder blades down. And we will roll towards the right side again. So slide the left palm close to you. The whole palm comes close to your ribs, press it down, and you want to roll onto your right side. And your shoulder tries to go away, still away from the ground, as you roll maybe all the way onto your side. And then you can relax the head down. Try to keep the shoulder sliding down. The left knee will lift maybe. Maybe you step the left foot behind your right knee. Maybe your left arm lifts up, and then you bring it behind your low back. Again, releasing your face, your neck, your shoulders. You can close your eyes. Deep breaths here. Just observing where you feel it. Maybe it's like the attachment of some of your muscles on your upper arm. Maybe it's your deltoids in the front of your shoulder. Maybe you even feel the attachment of the pectoralis muscles, so your breast muscles on your chest. If you want to go further into those muscles, you can slowly roll back and you cactus your right arm, so your right elbow ends up 90 degrees, while your elbow is at the same height as your shoulder, not lower, maybe even a little bit higher. And then you try to go back into that stretch, or rolling back. Maybe this time you will not be able to go as deep as before. Again, release your neck. No tension in your face. Inhale. Exhale. Go a little bit deeper. I like to also resist with my hand against the floor. So engaging those muscles at the same time to protect them a little bit. And then slowly, or maybe it's just my brain not allowing me to go there, come back onto your belly. We will change. So the left arm will go straight to the side. Your right hand will allow you to push away from the ground, so you come onto your left side. And then again, the shoulder rolls back. Relax your head down, so your neck is straight. Your face is relaxed. Maybe stepping your right foot behind you. Maybe your right arm up. Palm onto your low back. Finding a deeper or more depth in your breath. If you want to go into your breast muscles a little bit more, you come back, supporting with your right hand, bending the elbow 90 degrees, and then trying to come back onto your left side. One to two breaths here. And come back onto your belly. Okay, once you're in your belly, you roll again onto your right side. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Relax your head onto your right hand, right arm. Close your eyes. Make yourself even smaller than comfortable. I mean smaller to make yourself more comfortable. So really as if you were preparing yourself to curl here, to take a little nap. And then as you're there, slow down your breath. So really shallow but longer 2 breaths. Very silent ones also. And then slowly use your hands to pick yourself up, maybe even keeping your eyes closed. Trying to move super slowly so no one hears you. Finding a seat with your legs crossed or sitting on your heels. Bring your palms together. Find a little bit more length in your spine. Inhale through your nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. If you like, bring your palms to your forehead for the clarity in your mind. Then your mouth for speaking the truth. And then to your heart, just to feel all the feelings, mostly love. Thank you so much. Aloha. Topo, you say aloha too, right? I mean, this was already almost at the end of the class, if you are still here in the chat. So I don't have any statistics on the phone, but yeah, I have the chat. Sorry for the choppiness. Thank you, Anna, for joining. Thank you, Steffi. I'm so glad that you joined again. It was nice to see you, although it was just, in the chat, not really. But thank you so much. Have a nice weekend too. Okay. I think that's it. I hope you feel great. Let me know if you did some improvement even later, if you were able to fly in any arm balance, or maybe even if you weren't. Maybe I didn't explain it enough. So any suggestions from your side are welcome. And yeah, if you were able to do that funky arm balance and you snap a picture of it and you send it to me and I can share it, I would love to do that on my Instagram. Because, for example, today I was doing this super tiny tutorial about the chin stand, which I think it's hard. It's like not so easy to explain, and I did it simple, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if anyone will actually use this and if they will succeed. And there was this one girl who actually did it, and it worked for her, and it made my day, because normally it's not so easy, especially for chin stand. And she made it, so I was so happy. So if you succeed in something because of me and you send it to me, it's just this. That's why I do it. I am very much based on the physical parts of, like, on the physical. I like geeking about how to make the shape that you're trying to do, and how to, like, understand your body, how to position it. And I think it's really nice, because this way you are really focusing so strongly on something. Although it's physical, the focus can be represented also in other parts of your life. So I like that, and it's what I'm going to do, I hope maybe even forever. And it makes my day when someone else can have that feeling of, like, succeeding in these kind of things. So yeah, that's it. Have a nice weekend. Bye.